our spiritual businesses, or just our businesses in general. It doesn't have to be spiritual at all. And we think that we can't bring spirituality to our business. And we're here to debunk some of those thoughts and give you some ideas on how you can definitely totally bring spirituality into your business. So we're coming on live today. So first of all, welcome Jen into this sacred space. We just wanted to come together and have a conversation about business and spirituality and how often we feel there's a disconnect there. So before we move into that, and I know we can talk for hours on that topic alone. I really want everyone to know that you are a beautiful soul sister. We've met about a year ago, not even a year ago. Has it been a year? Oh yeah, we met over. That's right.
It was August. No. It was August. And I remember it vividly.
Oh yeah. Okay.
End of August last year.
Cool. Yes, so we met a year ago. We became fast and furious friends, and yeah, we're colleagues, we're business partners, and yeah, Jen is a special person in my heart. So I'm so glad to share this space with you today. So thank you, and thank you for coming.
I'm happy to be here too.
So yeah, we're going to have a conversation today around something a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, and that is connecting spirituality with their businesses.
I think it's a really important topic because if I think back to when I first started business, the way that I was looking at it was like, okay, I'm creating this thing and I'm responsible to do all these things to make it happen. And it took me a long time before I finally realized that that was a really limiting way to look at it, and it was a really skewed relationship. And when I started to look at it like, oh, my business is its own entity and it helps too, we co-create together, things started to feel a lot better in my business. I started to develop a relationship with it that was more healthy, and it felt a lot better. So it was a big shift for me. And when I made that shift, I hadn't heard hardly anybody ever talking about it. It was just one person. So I think it's a really important conversation to have, because I think a lot of people, even spiritual people, they forget that part of it. They forget to bring the spirituality into their business and into their work. And it's all one. And so it really helps to not segregate ourselves and piecemeal ourselves, but to just show up wholly. And I think that makes a big difference in how you run your business.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the teachings that I always impart is that we need to realize that everything has spirit.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yes.
The couch you're sitting on, the chair you're sitting on, the trees, the plants, you know, the house, and the business is a entity. Think about, you know, you're in gestation and you're about to birth a child, right? Well, you're creating a body for that child, and the spirit may come in right at the get-go. It might come in a little bit later or whatever, but you're birthing that child. And so a business is no different. You are birthing an entity, right?
Yeah.
And that spirit comes into that business, into that entity.
Yeah.
Realize that the business is an entity, is a spirit. And so then we need to treat it as such, that no different than if you had children and you were, you know, helping your child, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you choose each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I think that just having that piece of knowledge of understanding that you are not, like, your business is an entity, it has a spirit, that once you start to switch your mindset in really understanding that, then you develop a relationship from spirit to spirit. And like you said, you co-create, you check in with the spirit of your business. I can't tell you how many times my business has asked for changes. Like, it has said to me, okay, we're done teaching yoga for a while. I want to do
Yeah.
this now.
Yeah.
I want to explore this. I want to have some fun with this or whatever.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when you have that open dialogue with your business, you are able to really create some amazing offerings and serve in the world in a different way. It's really super
Yeah.
cool.
Yes. One of the messages I recently got from my business was, that's it. You've done lots of good work. You need to go play now. You need to go have a rest. We've got it from here. Meaning that in the background, they're organizing things. They're getting things ready. People will start coming. I've done the hard work. And if I keep going in the way that I'm doing it, I'm actually going to get in the way of what they're doing on its side. So it was important for me at that point to take a step back for a little bit and just have a rest, go do other things that I love, and then come back to it. And that's how we stay in the flow of it. And I don't get in my own way, which I still do sometimes. but it's beautiful to have those messages and to understand that not in it alone, I'm being supported.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, that brings me to anybody who's starting a new business, right? You need to
Mhm.
understand that the the business ideas are coming to you. So it's like spirit who's
Yeah,
choosing its parent in a child. It's
yeah,
coming to you, right? And so you're
yeah,
sitting
yeah,
with that and you're just stating
yeah.
that. And eventually, when you actually take action and you birth that child, that new business concept, that new idea,
Hmm.
um, it's in its infancy stage,
Yes,
right? So
yes.
we actually have to put hands on. It takes, we're nursing that child,
Mhm.
that new creation, right? Like we're taking care of that. And so there's lots of actions that have to happen in the beginning. But at some point you need to check in with your business and say, okay, well, how old are you right now? Like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need to match the years of how long you've been in business, not at all.
No,
Like we're
no.
talking spirit here, it doesn't work in the same way, right? It has a
Hmm.
different timeline. So you have to check in and you have to say, hey, like, how old are you right now? And oh, I see, you're like in your 20s. Okay, I need to like let go and allow it, like you're saying, in the background it's starting to take care of itself. It's starting to, you know, bring you attract the people that you want to do business with, whatever it is, right? Like it's
Yeah,
starting to happen. Sometimes your
yeah,
business is a 50-year-old, right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't need so much hands-on anymore.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's always good to check in, say, hey, do you want to change things up? Do you want to
Hmm.
offer something different? Do
Hmm.
you like,
Hmm.
how do you want,
Hmm.
like, are you good? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really important to stay in dialogue and to stay in connection because you're right. It goes through peaks and valleys and turns and things change. And it's not linear. So sometimes it's like, yeah, it's a 50-year-old, but then there's a new project that wants to be birthed, and that new project is a newborn. And there
Yeah.
was something interesting when I was doing the spiritual program with you that you had created for your Trinant team, and you were talking about the spirit of the business. And when we were first meeting that spirit, and we were asking it, how old is it? It's not just, how old in human terms in this life, but is this spirit coming from different lifetimes? Maybe you've worked together in the past in different ways. And so getting to know its history as well, because there's so much nuance to it. I mean, like you said, we could talk days about
Yeah,
this.
we definitely could. Definitely. So I think the important message we really want to sort of convey is that you can totally connect your business with spirituality because your
Mhm.
business is a spirit. It is an entity, right? Like you can
Yeah.
totally connect it because that's what you're working with. So
Mhm.
I think uh the first thing you want to share is to say, like, you need to change your mindset around your belief system around this isn't something that is an inanimate object. This is something that actually has spirit. And so when we change that mindset and have that understanding, then we can actually show it respect, and then we start to actually really work well together. We're collaborating with our business, so that
Yes,
is like one of the most important things.
super important.
Um,
Hmm.
any ideas on So this, somebody might be listening right now. And by the way, if you are listening, drop us some hearts or whatever, and let us know if you're catching this on the replay and if
Mhm.
this resonates with you.
Mhm.
But what are some of the ways, like if this is a new concept for you that you are listening to and you're like, well, how do I connect with the spirit of my business? Like, how would I do that? Do you have some suggestions, Jen, as to how we can do that?
The way that I was doing it was through meditation, and it was through um, connecting with the Akashic Records. So for me, the way that it works is, I go into a meditation and a little bit of a journey, and then my guides will show me pictures and images, a lot of symbolism. And so I'll give you an example of one thing that I saw when I was in there. It was many years ago, and I was really struggling with selling a program that I had made. And and you can go in and ask any kind of questions you want, right? So I was asking, like what's going on, and they showed me a large building, one floor, but lots of different rooms. And so to me, it was like all the different modules because it was a really big program.
Yeah.
And they showed me there was, a couple of people coming in and out of the rooms, which made sense. There was a couple of people in the program jumping in between the modules. And then they showed me that the front door was not only locked on the outside, but it was locked on the inside. And they're like, do you see why you're having trouble getting people in?
Yeah.
So it's, it kind of shows you the state of what's happening from a higher perspective so that you can look at yourself and see, where am I blocking myself? Where am I not letting people in? And go from there. So these are some of the messages that you can get when you converse with your business, and you can see what the business needs. But there are other ways, and I'm sure you can share, that are not with the Akashic Records. If you're not familiar with what that is, there are some other ways that you can connect
Mhm.
with your business.
Yeah. So, and for those of you who would be interested in connecting with their business through the Akashic Records, do you actually do that, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do Akashic Records at all? Are you trained in
Yeah,
that? You are. Okay.
yeah.
So you can reach out to Jen for that. So she can definitely take you there. My way in taking you there would be through a shamanic process, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
similar. I could take you to the Akashic
Yeah.
Records, and we could certainly explore that. So either one of us can help you with that. One of the beautiful practices that I've done in the past to really connect with the spirit of my business has been through a journaling process. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, what you're doing is you're grabbing your journal and you're taking a fresh page and you're splitting it in half. And on the right side of the columns, you're going to have your questions, and you're going to write all the questions down that you have for the business, like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you're needing to explore. And then you take, if you're, so whatever your non-dominant hand is, so for me, that would be left because I am right-handed. You would take your non-dominant hand, and on the left column, you would just sort of sit quietly, take a few breaths in, connect with the intention of connecting to the spirit, and you would go through the questions and you would allow the left hand to write the answers. So it's not your mind controlling the pen,
Yeah.
basically. So that's an exercise,
Yeah.
and it's amazing what actually
Yeah.
shows up when you do that exercise.
Yes.
um and so what was another one? Akashic Records, journaling, and yeah, and
Meditation.
then journeying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
your business. And that is something that I'll take people to, where you
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation with your business. And so that's a beautiful method as well. It's kind of like a guided
Yeah.
meditation, very similar to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Those are like three ways that you can definitely tap into the spirit of your business and have a conversation with it. So,
Yeah. So some people will be able to sit down and write and trust what's coming through, or meditate and trust what's coming through, but other people might need guidance. So definitely Carol and I can help you with that, so that sometimes it just helps you get out of your own way if you're just new to it.
absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, so we encourage you to make that connection with your business, connect with the spirit of it. I guarantee you the relationship with your business will shift and change when you start treating it as what it truly is, you know. And it shouldn't be a far-fetched concept, because when you think about it, we all, you know, some of us, our cars, like we have a name for our car. We believe our cars have spirit.
True. Yes.
Right? Or your house, your home, you believe it has spirit. It's like it will ask you to do certain things, or it will start to break down because it's not happy with something that you're not doing in the house or something. Like, it speaks to us all the time. So it's kind of fun to really sort of make those connections and go, okay, I really need to sit with my business here, and maybe it doesn't like its name. It might tell you a different name.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, that happened to me.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
That's where making space came from.
Okay. There's a story there that we could definitely explore in detail on another day. So don't want to take any more of your time. I really wanted to just pop in. I think Jen and I, you're going to see us here every week. We're going to have some really interesting conversations around business, spirituality, what we do, how we do it, all that fun stuff. So tune in every Wednesday at noon, I believe it is. Yeah, noon
your time, 11
noon
my time.
11 your time. Yeah. So don't miss out. Come in and check in, and please say hi. And if anybody wants assistance with connecting with the spirit of their business, both Jen and I have available to you free coaching calls. So just set up an appointment for a coaching call, and let's do it. Let's get you connected.
Yeah.
So we'll
perfect.
We'll put the links in the comments. Love you. Thanks, Jen.
Love you. Bye.